Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, or whenever you're watching this. This is the Bomber Buzz. I'm your host, Dylan Conley. Call me DConn. Keep it very informal around here, but glad you're here listening to this, episode number 2 of the semester. A lot of great things planned in this episode. We're going to hear from 2 of our college football signees, Elijah Hillstrom going to Pitt State University and Ford Coleman going to Southern Arkansas University. 2 great young men that I wholeheartedly believe are going to have great careers ahead of them in this season and when they go off into the college ranks. This time next year as college football's ramping up. I saw UCA just got a big victory over UT Martin. That's big news in the statewide stories. But we're going to take a look back this week. Since we last met, a lot of stuff's happened since, last Friday when we went to Marion. Of course, Bombers came up short in the varsity portion 7-3 against a pretty good Marion team. They got a lot of good pieces back. They have probably the best running back in the state, or one of the best in their backfield. Arkansas wants him. I think a lot of Power 5 schools want him as well. But it was a good, solid game. Got to work some kinks out, and Coach Aries even said that. We'll talk to him later in the show. But it was 7-3, and the Bombers ended up losing. It was, I believe, 14-10. So that was a little bit of a heartbreaker. Mount Hope was driving down the field, and they had an interception late in the game. But that was in the junior varsity portion. Our boy Grady Sheehan, Shady Grady, had some big plays. He had a big hit on the sideline, and then he bust open, I believe it was about a 60-yard run to get the Bombers into the end zone. Isaac Ballard hit a field goal. Have a talk with Isaac here in a couple weeks. But in the meantime, Monday night, had JV football. That was a good game. The Bomber football team took on Highland. They had 4 interceptions in that game. Bombers forced 4 turnovers in that game. They won 13-0. That was just a great night for the JV team. Get their first victory of the season. They'll be in action Monday at West Plains. You can catch every Bomber football game on the Bomber Sports Network on YouTube, the MH Athletics app, and MHBombersports.com. Tuesday night, we had tennis versus Greenwood and Alma. I think Bombers just ran away with it against Greenwood and Alma. Our tennis teams can play. We got good pieces, both the girls and the boys. And the volleyball match over in Harrison, it was a clean sweep for our Bombers. 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, all victorious, along with JV and varsity. The varsity needed 4 sets to win. JV swept both sets. 8th grade swept both sets, and the 7th grade and 9th grade needed a third and final set to eventually take the victory. But anytime you go over there and get a win, it's a good time. Doesn't really matter what it is, but at the time of recording this, we just got done with the Thursday night set of events. I know we had junior high football all over the state. Our 7th grade and our 8th grade were at Salem, or part of our 8th grade were at Salem. Our 8th grade, I believe it ended up being 54-0, so they were not victorious in that one. And then the 7th grade game was just a drilling in Mountain Home's favor, 34-6. I want to make sure I have that right. I'm looking at the Mountain Home Athletics website, MHBombersports.com. It has all kinds of results and events and what's going on. And looky there, I just saw we defeated Salem 34-6. Want to make sure we had that score right. Down in Little Rock, us and Texarkana met in 8th and 9th grade football. Well, half of the 8th grade and the 9th grade team played 2 games over there. The 8th grade game, it was a high-scoring affair. Mountain Home lost that one 36-20, but the points were not at a premium in that game, and excited to see how that 8th grade bunch is. I haven't just heard a whole lot about them, but what I have heard, it's seemingly good things over there. And then the 9th grade game, a lower-scoring affair than we're used to. It's the Texarkana Razorbacks. Bombers won that one at 13-6. The Crow Show begins 1-0 in the regular season, but anytime you go down on the road anywhere, even if it's a neutral site game, and get a win, it's a good thing. And, Texarkana is as close to the state of Texas as we are to Missouri, so them meeting us in the middle, it certainly, to me, it means that Texarkana was pretty good. Otherwise, they wouldn't drive, I believe that's around 2.5 hours from Texarkana to Little Rock over at Little Rock Christian. Thank you, everyone at Little Rock Christian, letting us borrow the facilities over there, letting us stream, all that good stuff over there. Tennis team. The Mountain Home Bomber tennis team, they were victorious in their conference match against Siloam Springs. The Bombers overall went 17-4. Bomber boys went 9-3. Lady Bombers went 8-1 on the evening. Over at Big Creek, we just had everything at home Thursday afternoon. Our Bombers and Lady Bombers took on Dover and Highland in a tri-match. Mountain Home, as a team, won both matches. Highland's girls did not have enough golfers to put a team score in, but our boys and girls, they were victorious in that 9-hole tournament, and I saw a bunch of them there at the Lady Bomber volleyball game that took place first night in the hangar this year. That's always fun. See Coach Jill Daves' squad after a big victory on the road at Harrison. It was a heartbreaker. They lost that one in 5 sets, but I tell you what, that team, she's got 13 sophomores. She's got 18 kids on the roster. 13 of them are sophomores. So she's got a young, boisterous bunch there that they showed what they're capable of, but they just came up just a little bit short. I know that 5th set they were down 11-4, which they play each set to 25. If you're not a volleyball person, they play each set to 25. You got to win by 2. So if you could see a set won 26-24, 27-25, that's not unheard of. But the 5th set, it's pretty much the same, except you have to get to 15, win by 2. And Mountain Home was trailing 11-4. Out of timeouts, everything, things were looking bleak, and then they rallied and tied it at 13, but Brooklyn was able to just finish it off right there and win 15-13. Excellent club over in Brooklyn. They're one of the big-name programs in volleyball. That whole area, Northeast Arkansas, that's a volleyball mecca. You have all kinds of big names. Like, I know Valley View, they got more rings than they can count there in their volleyball program. Jonesboro's the same way. Jonesboro West Side's got a lot of history, so that part of the state, I would probably venture to say, accounts for 50% of the state championships in volleyball over the last 20, 25 years. But it's good to see that team start off their season. You know, they're 1-1, but they played 2 good matches so far. They'll be in Little Rock on Saturday. We'll fill you in a little bit more on that next week, and then they'll be on the road at West Plains Monday. You can catch that on the Bomber Sports Network. Then back in the hangar against Jonesboro West Side on Tuesday. And then the Lady Bombers, they will start conference play, I believe, on that. Oh, no, I beg your pardon. They will be at Batesville on Thursday. Then conference play will start the week after. We'll get ahead of that. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves with that one. But, of course, Friday night is our military first responders night. Again, the time of this recording, it is Thursday evening. So the Bombers will have not played that game. And I'm excited to see them. We've never played them in football. You know, this is the 90th year of Bomber football. It's very rare we run into someone that's a pretty decent-sized school that we haven't played before. I looked through our record book. We have never played the Farmington Cardinals in football. Now, they're a familiar opponent, familiar school, and everything else. They've been a conference foe the last 2 years, and you know their boys and girls basketball teams have always come to our Christmas tournament. There's a lot of coaches over there from Mountain Home. I know Ian Biggs. He's a basketball assistant over there, and they've had a bunch of Mountain Home. I say a handful of Mountain Home people in and around that school district, and we have a good relationship with their athletic director, Bo Thompson, and it's just a lot of good people over there. You know, we played each other in the 5A girls basketball state finals, and we just know each other really well as an athletic department, and I can't wait to see how that game looks. You know, it's a new season. Everybody's got a shot. It's kind of like opening day in Major League Baseball. There's 30 teams. Everybody thinks they could go win the World Series, or there's hope there. And, you know, there's about, I don't know, probably around 150, 200 or so that play football in this great state. And, you know, all of them have things to look for this season. And, you know, according to the statewide media, there's lofty hopes, lofty goals for Mountain Home. You know, they're picked to win the West in the Hootens magazine, the coaches poll. And, you know, in the statewide media poll, they were 3rd overall. I mean, or third in Class 6A, I beg your pardon, but it's going to be an exciting time in non-conference. They will have Farmington Friday evening, and then they'll go on the road to Harrison, and then on the following week they will play Rolla, and then they'll have a bye week, and then the conference grind begins. But we're going to take a short little break. We're going to have our first of our 3 interviews. We're going to talk to Elijah Hillstrom, who is committed to play college football at Pittsburg State University in Pittsburg, Kansas. Gorillas. That was a fun interview with him. I even gave him a little bit of Pitt State history mixed in there with some of our alumni. But we're going to take a short little break. Elijah Hillstrom will be back in just a moment on the other side of this break here on the Bomber Buzz.
Well, now he's about to be caught. Oh, trouble!
As a race car driver for 40 years, I survived a lot of crashes. Not everyone can run into a wall at 200 miles an hour and walk away. Without a seatbelt, I wouldn't be alive today. Now I'm retired, back home in Arkansas, driving my pickup. I'm shocked how many people aren't wearing seatbelts. Why risk your life when it only takes 2 seconds to buckle up? Take it from number 6. Buckle up, Arkansas.
A message from the Arkansas State Police Highway Safety Office.
I'm here with Elijah Hillstrom. Elijah, first off, congrats on committing to Pitt State. That's pretty big, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
So Pitt State was probably your biggest offer. You had a few others, but when you went on a visit, what did you like about Pitt State?
When I was up there for junior day, listening to all the coaches, it was great culture. They talked really high about, playing hard. It was beautiful there. They had the really nice stadiums, everything. They have facilities for almost all their sports down there. Track, soccer, and anything
Just
else.
everything. Yeah.
Just everything, yeah.
Yeah, I've been there. I know the indoor track facility there is like insane. I don't know if you got to see it, but I went there. We had another alumni, Emma Martin, went to go play basketball there. I don't know if you got to see all the other.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's pretty good. I don't know if you got to see like any of the other facilities there, but they're D1 level over there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, when I was up there, we went to the weight room and it overlooks the whole indoor.
It's insane.
And
it's like
beautiful.
It's like a whole different world.
Yeah.
So you kind of knew. I guess I could rephrase it. When did you first realize that, like, hey, college football could be an option for me?
Really, when I just started playing against other college kids, I didn't have offers at the time, and I was playing against kids that were recruited and had scholarships, and I just felt like I could play against them and keep up.
Yeah, I mean, that's, because it's a good yardstick about seeing where you're at. It's kind of the same thing with linemen. If you line up across a defensive end or a tackle that's, going D2 or D1 and you do pretty good, that's where you're like, okay, I could probably do this.
Absolutely.
Do you do anything else other than football?
Hang out with friends.
Okay.
And hang out with friends.
I was mainly talking about sports, but that's fine. I thought you did track.
No, I did not.
Okay. They might take you over there, but I mean, just what I think. But I'm sure they could find something. Senior year, how's senior year been? It's been about 3-4 weeks into the school year. How's senior year been?
It's been easy. It's been really, really nice compared to when I was a junior. Less classes. Don't have to go to school much.
Yeah. Of course,
more free time.
You like school a little bit, but you got first game coming up against Farmington. You played Marion last week, and that was just kind of get everyone's feet wet in that. But how's the summer and off season been for you and for everybody?
It's been hot. It's been really hot, but it's been. I think we've been working really hard. Coach Harris has definitely been pushing us. We're very competitive on the defensive side. Mm-hmm. We're just, we lost a lot of guys on offense, but we're building that up. Mm-hmm. And as of right now, we're doing really good.
Yeah, look at there.
Yeah.
So if you had any wisdom for, like, let's say there's a junior high kid or a kid that's in our youth program that you'd want to give them, what's a piece of advice you would give, like, one of those kids?
Stay in the weight room. 100%. Stay in the weight room.
Stay in the weight room. Yeah, that's pretty good advice. When you're trying to bulk up, if Coach Harry says, "Hey, we got to put some weight on you," what's the go-to got to bulk up snack?
Cheapest thing ever is just goulash. You just got to do
really?
Ground beef and rice. That's it. That's it.
Okay. Getting up here, bar jelly guy?
Not really. Not really. But definitely ground beef and rice. It's very cheap. Cook it up, put a little bit of sauce in it. and tuna. You might not like tuna,
Yeah.
but it's great for you.
Yeah, it's good for your brain and all kinds of stuff. But really, I never thought about that goulash. Yeah. Well, I mean, we have first game this Friday. Any advice for people wanting to come out? Like, we want people here, don't we?
Absolutely. We want everyone here.
We want fans. We want students. We want bring your mom, bring your dad, bring everybody.
Bring everyone. If you're working, call off.
I mean, I can't imagine just a ton of people are working at 7 o'clock at night on Friday. But if you are, probably call off work. But, Haley, I appreciate you, man. I know you had to interrupt your busy day and interrupt your midday nap for this. But good luck this year.
Yes, sir. Thank you, DConn.
Man, it's so good to talk to Elijah Hillstrom. He's a funny kid. He's a big fella. He's looks like a monster. He looks like a college football player. That's the best way I could describe him. I mean, he's got broad shoulders. He just looks strong. Looks like a football player. But I can't wait to see what he does this season and then into his career at Pittsburgh State, whatever that may hold for him. But I was so thankful he took the time. He came by the office and we had that nice little interview. So that was very enriching, I thought. He was very shy, to say the least. And I told him, like, dude, it's just me and you talking. And he kind of relaxed up a bit. But I told him, this is going to be something you're going to have to get used to. This is something college athletes, they're going to have to be interviewed, stand in front of a camera occasionally, get a lot of sound bites. I mean, this is not unheard of, especially when he's going to play for a team that's, I believe this preseason, they were top 5 in the country. I know they got drilled by Ferris State, but that does not mean that they are not a bad football team. There's going to be a lot of football teams that get drilled by Ferris State. But here in just a moment, we're going to talk with our other Division II college signee, Ford Coleman, the son of Brad Coleman. You'll hear him on the Bomber football and basketball football broadcast tonight. At 7 p.m. kickoff, by the way, against Farmington. Get there early. There's going to be plenty of parking. We'll talk to Ford here in just a moment. This was a phone interview about a month ago before school started, so I appreciate Ford for taking the time to talk to us here, and let's see what the future mule rider had to say with me.
Thank you to all our community partners making tonight's broadcast possible. A portion of your support goes directly back to the Bomber Booster Club to help every student athlete in our district. Let's go Bombers!
I'm here with Ford Coleman over the phone. Ford, you had a big announcement earlier or last week.
Yes, sir. I signed with Southern Arkansas University.
So tell me about the process, and I'm actually going to throw you a moderate curveball on a question here. At what point in your football career did you think that playing college football was a possibility?
I would say start to mid of my junior year. I mean, I always wanted to be the best high school player I could be. But I mean, I just kept working, and finally the doors kind of opened up that said that I could really might have a future in this. So I'd say around start to mid junior year.
That's awesome. So, of course, well, then your recruitment process, you have to go on a lot of visits. You got to take a lot of phone calls, all kinds of things. What has that process been like?
Man, it's been nothing but awesome for me. It was a little slow at the starting ages. Like, you see all these guys get these offers and everything, but you just kind of got to keep powering through. You got to keep doing what you're doing, and the highs can't get too highs, the lows can't get too low. That's one of my things that my dad always told me, and I felt like that kind of helped me through all of it.
Another kind of curveball question. How big have your parents and Coach Airy been in this process?
Man, they've been huge. One thing my parents have always said is they kind of gave me the wheel and all they helped me just keep it in between the lines. So they kind of let it all be up to me, let me do everything, but they just they helped a lot. And then Coach Airy, I know he spent countless hours for not just me, but all the players on the team, sending out film, emailing coaches, and he's just a hard-working dude, and he wants what's best for all of his guys.
So you settled on Southern Arkansas. Tell me about what led into that decision and what you think it's going to be like over there.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of honed in on committing after the first couple of games of my senior year. And just Coach Langley and Coach Smiley, they were just awesome. They reached out, they made me feel like I was needed, they made me feel like I was wanted down there, and they were also genuine through the process. And I feel like that's a huge part of it. That they never really put on a show. If you wanted to be there, they wanted you to be there, and they made you know that.
So the last thing, and then I'll cut you loose. You're a busy fella, but tell me some goals, not only for yourself this senior year for you, but as a team that you guys have.
Yeah, I mean, we're returning, I think, 4 or 5 starters this side or this year. So we're a very unexperienced and young team. But I mean, our JV, they went undefeated last year. So we know how to win for sure. I'd say the team goals, and we've all kind of agreed on this as a team, is it's kind of we're going for it all this year. I mean, we have a great path with the two big dogs, Greenwood and Shiloh, headed out. So we feel like it's kind of up for anybody, and we want to step in as one of those dudes in the 6A, not just the 6A West, but 6A and all. So I think for sure, definitely a state championship and to go undefeated.
And then one final thing, this is off the record. When you go back and watch the games and you hear your father yelling over everything, what's your reaction to that? Does your phone blow up if he's got just a wicked call on the radio or what?
Oh yeah, I hear about it right after the game, and I mean we'll go back on Saturday mornings and we'll watch it, and we just die laughing. Those three guys, Barkley, Tobias, and my dad, they love to have fun up there, and in no world are they professional, but they call it how they see it, and they love it for sure.
A great chat with Ford that we had right there. The first thing that kind of caught my attention after I listened back to this audio was, gosh, he sounds just like his dad. Like I thought I talked to Brad a lot on the phone about we talk about Bomber athletics a lot, and it sounds eerily the same. Of course, he is Brad Coleman's son, so that makes a whole lot of sense. But I've loved Ford. I remember when he was just real tiny. Now he's a big fella, but he's going to have a good season, I think, and I can't wait we'll see him a lot. I will see him when I announce football games at Henderson State University. That's a big rival, Southern Arkansas. That's one of the teams that are usually in the top 4, top 5 of the GAC, but he's in a good spot. Southern Arkansas got a lot of good people down in Magnolia, great coaching staff. I believe they're behind Harding over the last 3 or 4 years. I saw a stat that no other team has won more games in the GAC other than Harding in the last 3 to 4 seasons. So Southern Arkansas is a really just solid, really good program that he's going to. I'm glad he's playing at the next level. And I have a funny story about his father, Brad. You know, he's the play-by-play voice on the Bomber Sports Network of Bomber football and Bomber basketball. I had actually recruited him to do games with me when Matt Sharp and Brad Hallworth were doing games for the Bombers. There would be tournaments where neither of them could just make it. They'd be up in Branson, their schedules wouldn't work out, or they'd be, I'm trying to think where else. Cabot was a few, and, they would say, hey, just take this radio equipment and just, call the games. We'll walk you through it, and, we'll throw you a few extra bucks. I'm like, okay, I can do that. And, it was just me, and it was real, I won't say boring. The games were good for the most part. But when it's just you, it can get a little, I won't say tiresome, but at least in basketball. Basketball, football, and even baseball, you need another person just to talk to. And so I think we were up in Branson. Yeah, we were in Branson. And we had got done with the first game up there. And this was around 2020-ish, 2020, or it was 2021-ish. And I had called him up, and somehow or another, he had mentioned this before, and I called him. I'm like, hey, we got a pair of games up in Branson Friday night. You want to announce these with me? And, he said, let me call you back. And then he called me back, and he agreed to be my color analyst for these games. And then it kind of expanded into the regular season and conference coverage with Matt Sharp. And that was a good combo. And then it turned into Brad calling the football games for us, and he's done an excellent job. I mean, I like those guys. They're energetic. They want to do this. They want it to be as good as they can be, and it's awesome to see so many people that are pouring their efforts and their time into the Bomber Sports Network and Bomber Athletics. It just shows how much people in this community care when you have people like that, like Brad Coleman, Barkley Terry, Tobias Pugsley. I don't want to start just naming people, but, I mean, there's a whole cast of characters that make Bomber football and all our Bomber broadcasts possible. And it's swelled and ballooned into one of the premier broadcasts, not just, I think, in the state, but just across the time zone, the region. I mean, I see a lot of these, and a lot of them may be high tech, but I mean ours is high tech, and the talent they make Bomber athletics fun, and that's really the important thing with this. And I appreciate all that they do for our athletic programs and making our broadcasts fun, the Bomber Sports Network, and we appreciate our partnership with KTLO and the Bomber Sports Network as well. But coming up here in just a moment, I talked with Coach Steve Airy before the big game this week against Farmington, the first real opponent. They will see the Cardinals on Friday evening at 7 p.m. Let's hear what Coach Airy had to say about that. Here with Coach Airy. Coach, first real game this week. Get after somebody.
Week 1, and it's an exciting time. Weather's not cooperating. A lot of crazy stuff going on, but hey, we need to get on a schedule and regiment. It would help. It would help if we get this weather right.
You start with a doozy in non-conference. You start with Farmington. They were in the state finals last year. They have the all-time winningest coach in Arkansas high school football, Tommy Tice. We know him pretty well. He was at Harrison forever. What are we going to see from Farmington this Friday?
We're going to see a team that's really well coached, really talented, really physical. They got a really good quarterback with really good receivers, and they got a lot of positives. They're going to have a fine club this year, and we're running onto a good football team.
So you saw some good, saw some bad last week. What do you? Any big changes to your team since last week?
No big changes. We're just trying to get a little better. That's all we can focus on right now is the next task at hand, and we'll try to fix a few things we didn't do very well the other day.
What can you guys get better at?
Offensively, we felt like our offensive line could have performed at a higher level. We just got to get more tenacity up there. We got to get a little more physical up front. And with their box, they gave us some trouble. They were just a little bigger than us and maybe even a little more strong than we were. I don't know. But they had 7 guys in the box. We had trouble owning the box. But we'll come up with something to fix that. Defensively, we had that one breakdown in coverage. Had a couple personal fouls, hitting people on the sidelines. We're going to have to learn how to handle a sideline tackle and not put a guy over there on the track and get in trouble. So a little better discipline on the defensive side of the ball, and we got to get a little more tenacious on the offensive side of the ball.
Friday's military first responders night. You always love that night. You get to see all our military people, first responders in town, fire department, paramedics, police. What does that night mean to not only you guys as a program, but just our community?
Well, those are the people that protect and service, and I'm always appreciative that I've got people, keeping our town safe, keeping our people safe, and taking care of our people when they're injured and things of that nature. But they're heroes, they're hometown heroes, and we're just thankful we can acknowledge them this way. And I hope they all show up and have a good time and get a free meal, and we're really thankful for these people.
You need a big crowd Friday, don't you? Tell these people to get out here.
Yeah, we need a big crowd. To me, our crowds have been really good, but let's see how it plays out this year. I don't think it's going to be too hot. I think it's going to be high 80s, and sun goes down. It's going to be a nice night for football.
It's always nice night for football.
Catch us before it gets too cold, or catch us, soon, because it's nothing like Friday night football.
Nothing like it. Coach, good luck on Friday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to all our community partners making tonight's broadcast possible. A portion of your support goes directly back to the Bomber Booster Club to help every student athlete in our district. Let's go Bombers!
I've noticed over the years, Coach Airy, when he first got here, folks at KTLO always used to have a weekly show with whoever our football coach was. And it'd be like a half hour long. It'd run pregame, and there was only, it felt like so much you could just say in a 30-minute coach's show every week. So we've really scaled that back every week with these interviews, instead of just chopping them up, and they're 3-4 minutes long, but we got a lot done in that 3 or 4 minutes. We learned about who we're playing, what's going on that night, just all kinds of great stuff. I appreciate Coach Airy and all our coaches giving me time to do things like that with them over the course of their day. I know they're busy. They got classes to teach, and they got games to get ready for, just all kinds of stuff going on. But appreciate Coach Airy. Good luck to them on Friday evening against Farmington. And this season, we'll hear from Coach Airy every week. And then we get into basketball and the spring sports seasons. We'll hear from all of our coaches along the way. But we'll take a look at the schedule for next week in Bomber Nation. Monday, it's a very light schedule compared to this week. Next week, golf will be at Melbourne at Cooper's Hawk Country Club. Don't have a time on that, but volleyball and football at the junior varsity level will both be in West Plains. Kickoff of the JV game will be at 6 p.m. Catch that game on the Bomber Sports Network. I think Brad Coleman said he was going to be on the call for that one. I'll be over at volleyball. Our junior high varsity, essentially our 9th grade, will be playing along with our JV. They're going to play one set, and our varsity will play a match against the Zizzers of West Plains. Don't ask me what a Zizzer is. I've looked it up a bunch of times. I still can't remember it, but that all begins at 5 p.m. You catch the action at volleyball and football on the Bomber Sports Network on YouTube. Tuesday, golf will take on Greene County Tech and Paragould at the Paragould Country Club in Northeast Arkansas. Tennis will go to Russellville to take on Russellville and the Pointers of Van Buren. And our volleyball squad will be back in the hangar. 8th grade, 9th grade, JV, and varsity. That will all begin at 4 p.m. The 8th grade is going to play one set. 9th grade, best 2 out of 3. JV will play 2 sets. And our varsity will have a best 3 out of 5. On Tuesday. You can catch on the Bomber Sports Network on YouTube. But we would much prefer you to be in the hangar. That was a fun atmosphere, very lively atmosphere that we had in the hangar against who did we play? Against Brooklyn. That was a fun match. A lot of our football team was there, our basketball team. It was just real loud and fun. That's going to be a whiteout, so wear your white that evening and come support those Lady Bombers. Thursday, well, we don't have anything Wednesday, but Thursday, golf will be taking on Flippin and Harrison in a 9-hole tournament. That's senior night for those boys and girls. It's hard to believe that it's already senior night for one of our sports as we crest into the month of September, but that'll be September 3rd. But 4 seniors over there. Don't have any girl seniors, just have our 4 boy seniors over there, and honor them and that, and hopefully pick up a pair of W's over Flippin and Harrison. Tennis will be at Farmington. That begins at 3:30. Volleyball will be 7th, 8th, 9th, JV and varsity at Batesville. They have an auxiliary gym at Batesville. The 7th and 8th grade matches will be in there beginning at 4:30. The 9th grade JV and varsity will be at 4:30. And junior high football, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade will be at Farmington beginning at 5 p.m. Kickoff of that first game at 5 p.m. So going to get a lot of football against Farmington for the next week and a half. And then Friday, of course, football versus Harrison. So make the trip over there. Just a short little hour-long drive. It's always a fun game. We've won 3 in a row. Harrison, they got a brand new coach, but they have a really good program over there. They've done a lot of winning over the last, let's say, about, for pretty much as long as I can remember. But that's always one of the funner weeks, getting to play them because it's a big rivalry. I would put it up against any rivalry in the state of Arkansas, honestly. You have the Salt Bowl, Benton and Bryant. That's always a big one. They have they've sold or nearly sold out War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock. Now the games are on campus, and that's pretty big. But we have a set of themes for Beat Harrison Week. Monday, Monochrome Monday, wear a single color from head to toe. Tuesday, Tourist Tuesday, dress as a world traveler. Don't know quite. I think I have an idea what that means. Wednesday, Wilderness Wednesday, wear your best camouflage. Thursday, Throwback Thursday, style your favorite jeans, overalls, and more in a throwback style. Of course, Friday, Blue and Gold Friday, show your Bomber spirit with your blue and gold. And join us. That'll be a 7 p.m. kickoff over in Harrison. So that'll be a lot of fun. If you can't make it over there, we'll have it on the Bomber Sports Network on YouTube, the MH Bomber Sports app, and mhbombersports.com. So that's going to do it for this week. I appreciate you tuning in. We got to talk with Coach Airy, Ford Coleman, and Elijah Hillstrom. We hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Bomber Buzz. Stay active on our website, mhbombersports.com. Stay up to date. You can catch all our schedules, scoring updates, rosters, all kinds of fun stuff on there. Watch all our streams on there as well. But I appreciate you tuning in to this episode of the Bomber Buzz. I hope you have a great rest of your day wherever or whenever you may be listening this. And go Bombers!